My daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell me about her new identity. The counselor ignored her requests and did nothing to support her in letting me know what was going on at school.
It seems to me that what the board needs to decide is what the position they're going to take concerning this idea of secrecy. Up front, you insisted that there was no secrecy policy. The superintendent sent out an email insisting that there was no secrecy policy. And yet we can see it is abundantly clear that we were lied to then, that there is in fact secrecy policy and guidelines in place that are practiced and have been for years. My daughter has been violated and compromised in this school system. Girls and boys were violated and compromised today in this school system. And now you're talking about excluding parents from their most natural right. Our Constitution guarantees that those rights that are given by nature and nature's God are to be protected.
Please have order. Please have order.
The rudeness and the mocking. I was sat quietly and I listened to you respectfully, and I expect the same. The idea of parental secrecy is kind of silly, because the parent's going to find out. What position do you want to be in when the parent finds out that you have lied to them and deceived them and manipulated their child without their knowledge, that you have undermined their authority, that you have increased the animosity between that child and their parent? You've increased the animosity between that parent and you. You have created an animosity and an adversarial relationship with that parent. And I've heard over and over as I sat down there through this whole meeting that it is the desire of this school district to work in partnership with parents. The parent's going to find out. Now, there's a case right now that's already costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. It may cost millions of dollars. You want to have a difficult conversation with a parent up front? Or do you want to deal with a really pissed off, angry parent because you went behind their back for perhaps months and months before they finally find out what you've been doing behind their back? You violated their rights, you violated their trust, you violated their family, you violated their children. The most basic of rights as parents. I understand there's difficult cases. They're in every facet of life. And I'm not against any trans student. I saw a flyer that said, we need to protect trans students, trans children. I'm here tonight not because these children are trans, but because they're children. And men protect children. As a man, I'm a little ashamed that we've got mama bear after mama bear coming up, and you husbands and fathers stand back there behind your wives and let them fight this battle for you. There's a battle to be fought when you hear from parents.
Hi, for those that don't know me, my name is Aurora Regino, and I am the mother that filed the lawsuit in federal court against Chico Unified for transitioning my daughter without my knowledge. I'm here today to tell my story so parents and the public know what is going on in our schools. Last year, my 11-year-old daughter was in elementary school here at Chico Unified, and her elementary school transitioned her from female to male behind my back. Shortly before this happened, my father had recently passed away, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My daughter was distressed and began questioning her sexuality, so she decided to reach out to a wellness counselor at her elementary school. The day my daughter shared with her guidance counselor that she felt like a boy, the counselor immediately affirmed this new identity. From then on, the counselor continued to have one-on-one meetings with my daughter without my knowledge. During one of those one-on-one meetings, my daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell me about her new identity. The counselor ignored her requests and did nothing to support her in letting me know what was going on at school. Throughout her transition, my daughter changed very quickly, was bullied, and as a result, was very unhappy. And because her school kept this transition a secret from me, she was on her own. I'm a busy working mother just like the rest of you. Before this happened to our family, I would have not believed this was going on in our schools, especially at the elementary level. I want everyone to know I understand that I want everyone to understand that I want a space for our LGBTQ and trans community members to feel safe and supported. But the policy currently in place at Chico Unified has been damaging to our family. And I am not up here talking about what could happen if you continue this policy. I am up here telling you what did happen to our family. This was a time when she needed me the most, and you kept it a secret from me. I understand that you are trying to find ways to create a safe environment for all children within our district, but keeping secrets from parents is not the way to do it. Treating every parent as a potential threat to their kids is wrong. I know it's easy to make up a narrative when it comes to my case. I know it's easy for people to judge and say my daughter must have not felt safe or supported, and that's the reason for her telling her counselor. But regardless of what people say, I love my children, and there isn't anything they could ever do to change that. It wouldn't have mattered to me whether my daughter continued to identify as a male. I would love her the same. It's a slippery slope to allow any adult in our schools to keep secrets from parents for any reason. The actions the school board district took to immediately exclude me from supporting my daughter was very damaging to her and our family. She was very young and didn't understand what being transgender really meant or the obstacles she would face going through a transition. The school transitioned her and left her to figure it out on her own. It seems to me the district is getting it wrong on both sides. You don't know how to handle these very serious and sensitive situations because once you transitioned her, you left her to handle it all by herself, the bullying and the staff even
Thank
outing
you.
her. Thank you.